pledge allegiance to the flag
United States
United States of America, and to the republic
for
for
which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Jenny, are you there? Is Jenny there?
She's
Jenny?
there, no video though.
Jenny, are you there?
Can't get in.
We could hear you, we just can't see you.
Yeah, I didn't hear her.
I don't have any sound, Robert.
There you go. Could you do
I
roll
know
call?
you helped me before, but I did it again. I muted. I'm missing out on my meeting. And I don't know why.
Ginny, we can
hear you.
I wonder if she can't hear us.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Thomas, Jane.
Oh, they're not plugged in. That's what it is. Can you plug this in for me, please? over
You're
there?
the noise in the background.
Plug 'em in. It's coming.
Oh, we're just gonna mute her for now.
Okay, I'll do roll call. So I'm here, Donna Corbin-Sabinsky, Kevin Zorda,
hear.
Ginny's here, but we can't hear her. Carrie Ann Howe,
Here.
good. Robert Shagnon is absent. Robert Hendrickson,
Here,
good. Marcy Delico here. She's absent. Okay, and then we have Marie Pisner.
I'm here.
Hi. And then we have Rick's here and Savannah's here. And we have Lauren's here. So I think we're ready to go. I'd like to see Robert Hendrickson and Marie Pisner for the meeting. Okay. Excuse me. Next on the agenda is discussion, which we have none. Correspondence, we didn't have anything in the packets besides our packets information. Agent correspondence, does anybody have anything?
No,
Hearing none, I guess we'll move on. Approval of minutes from June 16th.
I move that we approve the minutes of June 16th, 2020.
I second.
Thank you. Can we,
Is that Marie?
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
and we can't hear Ginny, so I guess I'll do roll call. Donna, yes. Kevin,
I'm here.
Yes,
can we hear Ginny?
Hopefully you can.
yes.
Yay!
She's back.
Yes, I am. I forgot it was muted. Sorry.
Okay, do you want to do roll call for the approval of minutes? Kevin, Marie,
Yes.
thank you. So could you do roll call, Ginny?
Sure. Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
yes,
Virginia, yes. Carrie Ann,
Yes.
Jane's absent. Robert Chagnon's absent. Marie
Yes.
and Robert.
Yes.
6 in favor, motion passes. Next is old business, which we have none. And then we have new business. And under new business, we have the delegate for our Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency pursuant to CGS 22A-42A. And that would be Savannah Nicole Galaba. Is that? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. She's the assistant town planner. She did send us her certifications and all, which is very good. So does anybody want to make a motion to?
I make a motion that we approve Savannah Nicole Villalba as our delegate for the Enfield Inland Wetland and Watercourse Agency.
I second it.
Perfect.
Ginny,
You want to do roll call?
sure. Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes,
Virginia, yes. Carrie Ann,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
and Robert.
Yes.
6 in favor, motion passes. Welcome, Savannah. You are our new delegate. I'm sure you'll do great.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yay!
We'll ask her later on what she thinks. In a few months. No, but thank you. Welcome to our team. Next is our wetlands permit, IW 609, 61 Kimberly Drive. It's an application for a permit to conduct a regulated activity that is located within the escarpment slope area as delineated by the town of Enfield official wetland map to install an 18-foot round above-ground pool on the property known as 61 Kimberly Drive, map 70, lot 13, zone R88. David Wilson, owner. Is David on or?
Yes, that's correct. I'm right here.
Hi, David. Welcome.
Hello.
How's it going?
I got to admit, it was a tough day today, but it's all over now. So
Good, good. Glad to hear that. So we have your application. You wanted to put in a pool, and you live at 61 Kimberly.
yes, that's
Have
correct.
him Identify himself and state his name and address for the record.
Yes, please.
David Ralston, 61 Kimberly Drive, Enfield, Connecticut, 06082.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Lauren, do you want to give us a little background, or Savannah?
Sure. So, as you said, it's a permit application for the installation of an 18-foot round above ground pool. The proposed location of the pool is just beyond the 200-foot regulated area from the Scantic River, and it is located in the escarpment slope area as delineated by our official wetlands map. The Capital Region Council on Governments GIS shows that the parcel has well-drained soils, except we do know that those soils are clay. And so the concerns from the staff were, we are concerned about the movement of soil to level the proposed pool area. I sent photos today from Rick that he took of the property. It doesn't look that strong of a slope. Where the pool is proposed, it's about a 4-foot elevation drop, but it does seem to go gradually. The concerns include what sort of machinery will be used to level the proposed area, where the disturbed soil will be placed during and after the cut and the fill, and then what erosion and sedimentation measures will be used throughout this process. We also sent this to the assistant town engineer, who commented that the Department of Public Works is aware of the existing erosion and settling problems that are located along this escarpment in the area near the location of 61 Kimberly Drive. And so some portions of that slope along the rear property lines in this area have started to settle without added loading. And the assistant town engineer does not recommend adding the weight of a proposed pool to this area or this permit.
Okay, thank you. So I saw the pictures. It looks like you're putting it at the end of your driveway or back a little bit.
That's correct.
Yeah. Was there any thought by the town that maybe if you moved it a little bit forward, it would help the situation?
I think you have to get a variance.
Pardon?
No, I'm not, I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with that, shortening the driveway, which goes past the house. I mean, the reality is 50 feet to the right of me is a pool 4 times the size of the one that I want to put in. I mean, I think we're asking for a very modest pool for my family to cool off, and we're not really trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah. I don't want to, I'd like to have you put the pool in, but just want to make it safe so it doesn't slide into the back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there gonna be, are you gonna put in any kind of wall or anything like that where the fill is going to level this?
The area the pool's going is fairly level already, so it's going to be sitting on pretty much flat ground.
Okay. And it's
Yeah.
above,
Almost perfectly flat. I mean, there's a very little that he'll have to dig out, and we can have that soil removed.
Yeah.
okay.
They talked about the kind of equipment that's coming in. Do you know what they're going to use to do this? Could we use smaller equipment?
This is just a tiny little Bobcat. There's not much that's gonna need to be done. The area's already flat.
Yeah, it looks like it from the picture we got today. It's just past the backyard there.
Our installer said this will be one of the easier ones to put in. He said sometimes they have to do a lot of heavy work to get the ground ready, but our ground is pretty much right where it needs to be.
Hmm.
Okay. And they're gonna take off, and any soil that they remove, they're gonna take right off site, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. That's good.
And I assume they would use just standard sediment control procedures. Did they talk to you about that?
They said it would be standard procedures is what I was told.
Okay.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like you're gonna have to go far off the driveway to actually do anything.
Mm-mm.
No, we're really not. It's gonna be fairly close to the driveway.
Yeah. Hmm.
So have you had any problems in your backyard with any erosion into the escarpment or anything?
We've been here probably close to 2.5 years and haven't had any issues yet.
Any
And,
issues?
and we walk back there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be past that fence, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it goes past that fence a little bit and then it drops down.
Then it drops down, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And in fact, if you see the pines in the back, those were planted by the last or a couple property owners ago. At least that's what the neighbors tell me. So that's still part of that land.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not a huge pool, you know, I mean, it's big, but it's not that bad.
We did that on purpose. You know, we don't need anything incredibly large. This is just something to cool off when it's really in the
Yeah.
hot months.
Yeah. Like now.
Yeah, it's tough watching my next door neighbor. He's got quite the pool over there.
Yeah. And I'm guessing they have the same escarpment back there, your neighbor.
Yeah. Well, and you got the white pines there, so, and they're pretty big.
Yeah, they are.
Are they pines or are they? Oh, I see those. Okay.
We have pines in the back, some large pines in the back.
Yeah, I see them. Looks like they're covered in bittersweet or something.
Yeah.
Not really sure about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, that stabilizes
I would think so.
somewhat.
Yeah, I would,
Somewhat.
yeah. And it doesn't look like there's that much of a slope and, you know, from the fence forward to the driveway.
Right. And so the pool is going in front of the fence, so it's not, you're not moving the fence at all, right?
Absolutely not. No.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
I have no more questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Does anybody else have any questions for him?
No, I'm good.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Sure. I will make a motion that we approve IW number 60961 Kimberly Drive for the installation of an 18-foot round above ground pool. Map 70, lot 13, zone R88, David Ralston, owner.
I second.
Okay, Jenny, can we have roll call?
Yes, Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Virginia, no, because I feel that there is a high potential for the escarpment to be damaged, and our assistant town engineer feels the same way. Oh, I'm sorry. Carrie Ann,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
and Robert.
Yes.
Okay, it passes.
Okay, 5 in favor, motion passes. Thank you, David, for for coming before us on that. Good luck with the pool, and just be aware, what we're talking about with escarpment and stuff, that's all.
I will, and I want to thank everybody for your time.
Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you very much. I'll sign off now.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is number 10, statewide inland wetlands activity reporting form, which I see we have none. Item 11.
Madam Chair? Madam
Yes.
Chair, I think I had asked this question before. So I'd never actually seen this on inland wetlands agendas before. So you like to see the actual forms?
Is there?
What is it that this is on there for?
Yeah, do you get any copies of them or?
Well, we can't, I mean, we usually if the applicant doesn't give it to us, we fill it out and then we have to report to the state. But I'm not sure if I'd ever seen commissions actually, have this on their agenda. So it's not a bad thing or a good thing. I just want to know what to do with it.
Yeah, it was surprising to me that it added to our agenda, so. we
Yeah.
just-
So
Yeah.
should we
I
take
think
that
you
off?
was back,
Yeah, was
we
that intended?
discussed it and said that we wanted it on there just as kind of a checks and balance to make sure that it's being done.
Oh, well, the state will make sure it's being done.
Can be just shown to us when when you give us the actual application, because it's part of
Yeah.
the actual application. Then you could take the
Exactly.
item off and we'd actually see it.
Yeah, I mean, it should be just included in the packet, but I'm not sure if it really needs to be on the agenda for review.
That's why
But
I'm
it's up to
saying,
you. It's your decision. We just want to know what to do with it.
Yeah, I think when we had discussed this, we were looking more for a form that we had previously that had all of the projects that were going on and what phase they were in. I think that was kind of what we were looking to have there so that we could kind of stay abreast of, if activities had started or if they, what process they were in. But I think we can discuss that at a later time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. So I
right.
don't have a problem with it being taken off.
Well, we'll take it off and we will try to start accumulating a project list that shows you status, which you
Which
could
we-
just see whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd probably go better.
And I'll go back through emails and see if I can find the form that was actually sent to us in the past. Just
Yeah, I
so you
might
have an
have- Yeah, I might have it saved as well.
That would be helpful, seeing as I'm still kind of new to this and
idea.
Anna Nicole is new to this and Raquel's gone. So,
Right.
It was actually before Raquel too,
Yeah,
so.
so, okay. Okay. We just
Yeah.
want to make sure we're giving you what you want, but I don't want to give you things that you don't need.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so we'll look for it. Next on the agenda is enforcement report. It's item A is North Maple Street near 230 North Maple Street. Notice of violation sent on 6/24/2020, telling the owner to cease and desist with excavation and disturbance of soil on the wetlands area. Map 81, lot 121, zone R44, Maplewood Associate Partners LLC owner. Hi, Rick.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. I'll give you a short synopsis of what transpired here.
I think the owner's on. I just saw.
Actually, I think it's Richard Zulik. He's representing the owner.
Okay, welcome, Richard.
Thank you. So after receiving a complaint, the property was checked several times, inspected, and several photographs were taken, and they're included with your packet. There was excavation activity running east and west on apparently what used to be a access road going in there. There was previous back in 1998 and 2000, permit that was issued for some work being done there. Those documents were forwarded to you also for review. I issued a cease and desist, well, actually a notice of violation to cease any activity there until the property owner came before the agency to discuss this matter. And I had a conversation with him after the notice of violation, and he kind of just felt that it was his right under the it being a farm to continue with this work. The problem is it's more than just a roadway. It's excavation work that's taking place there, as you can see from the photographs. In 1998, he was issued a permit after some violations and going back and forth with him for the work that would pertaining to that roadway and a culvert and piping being put in place. But as I said, the amount of excavation work being done there within the wetlands and the soils being excavated and placed on the wetlands is an issue that I believe needs a permit issued by this agency. And I had a discussion with Rick earlier today. He called to verify. He submitted a letter that I sent off. I'm not sure if everyone got it or not, but their aspect of how they view the situation. But again, during the conversation, I kind of alluded to there's another recommendation through the Agricultural Forestry and Connecticut's Wetlands brochure that just specifically speaks to building of roadways, and it does need a permit issued by this agency. This is more than just a little road that a tractor is driving on. There's actual excavation work as you can see from the photographs submitted. But I'll let Rick here speak on behalf of Mr. Stanton.
Thank you. Rick, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Richard Zulik. I'm a partner in Datum Engineering and Surveying. I'm from Ashford, Connecticut. Our place of business is Connetville Road in Mansfield, Connecticut. I am a soil scientist and a partner in the engineering and surveying business.
Did you have any comments about what they're doing?
I sure do. Have you all had an opportunity to read my letter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So then I think that it's clear, where we stand and what our opinion is on this. I guess I'd like just to start by saying that we consider this maintenance because the road is existing. It was a road that's been in place for, I think, 20 years. The road has degraded over the uses in the last 20 years. And Mr. Stanton felt a need to improve that road so that he could get larger trucks and trailers in for the harvesting of his hay and for the farming business that he's got up there. There is some excavation, but his intent was simply to remove unsuitable material that had come in over the top of this road. It got real spongy when it got wet. It was slippery, and he really wanted to get a road that he could depend on. Again, it's important to understand that this is an existing road. It was permitted. The Wetlands Commission was aware of it. It comes through a gateway. He's been using this for quite some time. There was an existing crossing in place that the commission was aware of. One item that I'd like to address is that the existing crossing, Mr. Stanton felt was a little bit skewed in terms of the road. It led him into this wooded area that created problems for trailers. So he chose to move the crossing no more than 20 feet to the north. It was a 48-foot crossing, and he reduced that to only 24 feet. So he did not use all the pipe that was used prior. So, I mean, it was an existing crossing. Yes, he did move it slightly, but it's been in place for a good long time, and it was spongy as well. And he really wanted to get better material in there and straighten the road out and just make it better. My apologies for any misunderstandings in terms of, what's allowed and what is not. But we felt that he did consult me on this, and I felt it was a use as of right. And we're asking that the upgrade and maintenance of this property is allowed as a use of right. As I stated in my letter, we respectfully request a non-jurisdictional ruling under Section 4, which is permitted uses as of right, and non-regulated uses of the Enfield Inland Wetland Regulation, Section 4.1. It defines grazing, farming, nurseries, gardening, and harvesting of crops essential to the farming operation as a use that shall be permitted in inland wetlands and watercourses as of right under Connecticut General Statutes 22A-40 as amended. The provision of this subdivision does include road construction directly related to the farm operation. And we stand that to say that we're not constructing a road, we're simply improving a road. It absolutely was in place a long time ago. Mr. Stanton did put some of the spoils off to the side and can't remove those until the road and the crossing is stabilized, because he wants to truck them off to his northern most field where there's other soil stored. With the town's permission, my client would like to complete this ongoing project during the dry months of the year after installing appropriate silt fence protection down gradient from the culvert crossing and to protect the down gradient wetlands. I have not witnessed any water within the intermittent stream crossing and have been told by my client that it has remained completely dry since the onset of this project. So we're asking that you please allow the continuation of this project prior to precipitation and the difficult conditions. I hope you agree with our assessment, and I respectfully leave it to you to decide.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments or questions for him?
Yeah, what I'm seeing, the work that you're doing isn't simple maintenance to me. Simple maintenance is like a light grading of the existing road. This is road construction, and it's not actually a farming activity. So my feeling is I would be a lot more comfortable seeing an actual permit where we have some oversight to make sure that the wetlands are protected and that things are done correctly and appropriately.
I think road construction assumes that it's the construction of a new road. That's always been my definition. In that it's existing, we can. It's certainly an upgrade, but we still consider it maintenance.
Donna? My question is the piping. Was the piping there before, or is he installing the piping now to make the driveway better?
The piping absolutely was there before. He's using the exact same piping. He just removed soil and shifted the pipes. I'm not sure, but absolutely no more than 20 feet. He also reduced the length of the piping. He was using 28 feet. Now he's using only 24 of that feet. The other 4 feet, he's not going to use. He doesn't need it. So yes, it was there before. He has stripped off and he wants to bring new material in and to get this road up to the point where he can bring a larger truck in without worrying about getting stuck or having problems.
For farm equipment, correct? The
Yes.
truck, yeah, for the farming.
Absolutely. Absolutely directly related to farming, nothing else.
So has he had any engineers, I guess, with your company assess the viability of that culvert and the equipment? If he's going to try and improve it for bigger equipment, is that culvert going to handle that?
Yeah, there's not a lot of water. Yeah, thank you. there's not a lot of watershed there. We feel that a 24-inch pipe is more than adequate.
And, well, I mean, given that this is an old culvert, did any engineer assess the?
I think it,
you know,
yeah, there was an assessment done when it was originally put in. And I want to say that the town asked it to be 24 inches. It was a request from the town of Enfield.
I did see that in the old permit. And do we know, was there any grade change? Has there been any grade change to either side or?
No, there will not be any grade change. So he's removed material and he's bringing in better material. It's going to come up to the old grade. Not going to stick up any higher or create any dams. It'll be the same elevation as it was initially.
Sounds good.
My opinion is that I think the fact that it has moved, and I don't see details of where this is moved. And you say 20 feet, but we've I don't know that. I don't see it that it's only moved 20 feet. But I think the fact that it is being moved, and that there is such extensive excavation and changing of material, that I think it would be appropriate to have an application, full application for that portion of the project.
I agree.
I have a question of Mr. Zulek.
Yep.
You mentioned that he's harvesting timber. Is he harvesting timber in any of the wetland areas on the
No,
property?
hay. It was hay, right?
I did not say he was harvesting timber.
I thought you said he was cutting trees. That was the reason for the roadway, so that the trucks could get in there.
No, hay.
I did-
He said hay.
Just hay? Okay.
Madam Chair? This
Yes.
is Lori.
Hi.
As I was the wetlands agent for this application in
Yeah.
1997.
I saw that.
that.
I was a little confused. I'm like,
Just,
wait a second.
It's like all this stuff is coming back to me. It was not a jurisdictional ruling back then. That was actually, it was a permit, because the DEP is very clear in stating that road construction for farms is basically you're driving over the same path over and over, and you might lightly grade the top. But once you start putting in culverts, you start putting in any fill or anything like that, that does require a permit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And we actually had training on this. Was it last year that we went to the training for the forestry?
Yeah.
And
I
it was
believe so.
this exact scenario that we actually were on site looking at these. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was last year or before. I can't remember, but.
Yep.
And, I do agree that I think an application would be a good idea.
and we could I don't have my schedule here right now, but I mean, we could still schedule one for the next meeting, or
Yeah.
one in August. Maybe I do have the schedule.
So it'd be July 21st. 'Cause in August, we don't do anything.
Yeah, right.
So if we could get
So-
the application and look at it on July 21st, that'd be good.
That is our next.
Um,
meeting.
I'd like to say a couple of words.
Sure.
Is this
Um,
Jim Stanton?
Who's speaking?
Jim
Yeah.
Stanton. Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi, everybody. This project I spent a lot of time and money on in 1997, and Miss Winton was my go-to person at the town hall, and the only reason that I really thought I needed to take out a permit back then was because of all the complaints that were coming in. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. And so because the neighbor was complaining and continued to complain, and when he didn't get what he wanted from the town of Enfield, we went farther and farther. But all this was, paid for and engineered and so forth. And the gravel that was down there over the years has disappeared, except for some of it, which I was able to save, which I'm going to reuse, and there's piles there. And I'm sure, Rick saw that, or Rich saw that when he went out and took pictures, that I had the bank run gravel, the red stuff, and I saved as much as I could, because who wants to buy double the gravel if you don't have to? But I mean, there's no big money being made on this farm. And in fact, the farmer who grows the hay, he did the first 100 feet of the driveway about 6 or 8 years ago to make it easier and less ugly coming down the driveway for the neighbors. And, he put down some filter fabric and some gravel, but actually that needs to be gravelled again because the gravel is, disappearing to the middle and to the sides and so forth. So I've already done all I've already paid a lot of money, spent a lot of money in 1997, 98, 99. And I'm kind of having a nervous breakdown over an anonymous phone call, which I can guess who it is, and Ms. Whitten could guess who it is starting all over again just to see how much money they can get me to spend and, break the bank. And, years ago, I couldn't even get in there with a horse trailer. It would be nice to be able to use this property. I mean, I've been paying taxes on it for 35 years.
Mhm.
My farmer friends tell me that they don't go and get a permit to improve their driveways. And if anybody here has a gravel driveway, that every 5, 6, 10 years, you have to put new gravel down. And if you want it not to disappear, you have to put filter fabric down. I did not do that the first time. I did not know about that. If you look through the grass, there's gravel spread out everywhere. And people drive wherever they want because it's all grass now. And I didn't move the pipes 20 feet. They maybe moved one section 8 feet. If that's a big problem, I can put them back. I can put them back because I hate to spend money and duplicate what I did 23 years ago, and that was all under the direction of the zoning or the wetlands person then, and I thought I did a good job, and I didn't have to do it again. So sorry, but I maybe I got a little, carried away because I would like to be able to drive in and out of there with a car, never mind to have a 4-wheel drive pickup truck. And what I have now, I can at least go there without putting my truck into 4-wheel drive. And I'm not really disturbing anything that wasn't disturbed already. And that's a little bit of history on the project, and it's not a big project. I'm doing it by myself part-time, and it's not a huge project, and I would like to get it over with in 2 or 3 days and start growing some grass over there. That's my hope. Thank you for that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, so I agree with you, and I don't have any problem with you improving the road and making it better. I think the idea of having a permit is, I look at these photos that Rick took, and I don't see any silt fence anywhere. I don't see any protections. In the event that we have a heavy rainstorm, that what's going to happen to these soils down that drainage. So
I had a silt fence. I had a silt fence up, and right now Where I stopped, the old gravel is sitting on the other side of the pipes.
Yeah, I don't see any silt fence or even hay bales or anything like that in these pictures at all.
I had a silt fence there and it was up until I started moving stuff around. And I got rained out one day, so it didn't get back up, but I have gravel on the south side, and so water cannot actually go through right now.
So I think, you know, well, even what you just said to me, the fact that it rained out, so you didn't put it back up, that to
No,
me is
I
a
got
concern.
rained out. No,
Yeah,
it didn't have any water in the ditch. There was no water there.
Yeah, he got
It
rained
just
out.
had-
It rained, so he stopped working. Is the way I took it.
Yes.
Right. But
Yeah.
that would be the concern. That would be when you would want the silt fence.
Yeah.
I have a pile of gravel on the south side, so water would have to filter through the gravel to go south.
Yeah. And I just think the permit also will just protect you from, you know, if anybody else bothers you, we could say, well, we have a permit and he's all set, you know. And he's following the guidelines and the rules.
And that's what I had to do last time. In fact, I put on more things than I even wanted on the permit. So in case anybody decided to complain, the town person could say it's by permit and so forth. But I mean, we've had the Army Corps of Engineers, we had the state DEP, we had everybody out there. I mean, and I was found not to have any violations because I was actually working by hand and restoring the farm at the time.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, through you, may I ask something
Sure.
of the applicant? Jim, what are you doing different from the original permit, which basically you were allowed to do the 24 construction of the swale, restoration of a 24-inch culvert. You're doing that, correct?
Yes.
And then installation of a new 24-inch culvert for crossing the brook and the cleaning out of leaves and debris within the channel. So and it's been a long time since I've been out there, as you well know.
Yeah.
So it's the same stretch that you're working in?
Yes, it's the same place, same material with some new gravel added, and I actually deducted 4 feet off the. I had 28 feet there, which made it a little bit nicer, but I couldn't really get the 4-foot pipe on by myself, so I left it off, and I just concentrated on what I have, 3 8-foot sections, and I slid them north 6 to 8 feet probably.
Okay. So I guess the biggest problem is that you're still disturbing soil, you're still disturbing the waterway, and unfortunately the permit expired probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really at the commission's discretion what they would like to do.
Well, is it possible to fill out the permit and continue working on it? Because I would think that I get a feeling that it's going to be a permitted use, but I'd like not to lose 2 weeks. I only work 2 or 3 days a week up there, so it's not like I'm there 7 days at a time.
I wouldn't be opposed to an agent approval if there was a application.
Right. I was just going to mention that myself.
That way it could happen faster. Yeah. And that way it could happen faster. And I will also note that, even on the old application and approval, some of the things, conditions, that were put in here, that you would have a pre-construction meeting, which I don't think you had this time. and a few other things that I think you didn't, you certainly didn't review this old application or this old approval before you started this new work. So I think doing a new application would kind of remind you of those things. And if we do an agent approval, I think it could happen
Quickly.
pretty quick.
Mhm. I
Well,
concur.
that sounds fair. That sounds fair. And Rick Zulik knows all about this stuff more than I do because he works on it every day, every week.
Right.
So I kind of like would throw it back in his hands and tell me what to do next.
Is Rich still on?
Yes.
Does that sound
Rich.
good to you?
Which Rick? Rick Zulik?
Yeah.
Rich
Yeah.
Zulik, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Rick Zulik is, I'm here. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I think that covers, everybody and. So do we have any kind of motions or any more discussion?
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we require an application for the work to be done on North Maple Street near 230 North Maple Street for the construction and repair of a farm road.
I will
Um,
second.
Okay, discussion, I have just one point. Is it proper to put something in there when he does the application that he can maintain this later on? So 10 years down the road, he needs to maintain it again or something?
Surface well, I think that's,
How about non-structural maintenance? So, simple grading is fine, bringing more stone in is fine, bringing excavators in and digging new trenches, not good.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I think it would be just a good idea for him to contact whoever's in the land use office at that time.
Yeah. Okay. Can we have,
One quick thing, and I guess we should add to that also approving agent approval for this.
correct. Any more
Got
discussion?
that, Savannah Nicole?
Are we doing an application and requiring him with our standard conditions that we would put in an approval?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have this. So Commissioner Zorda motions to require an application near 230 North Maple Street for the construction and repair for agent approval with the standard conditions of our inland wetlands permits.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, Ginny, roll call then, if we have no more.
Yep. We need a second.
Did Commissioner Howe second? I didn't hear.
I will second it.
Marie, second.
Okay,
Okay, now roll call, Ginny.
Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Virginia abstain. Carrie Ann,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
and Robert.
Yes.
5 in favor, 1 abstain, motion passes. So thank you very much, Mr. Stanton and Mr. Zulak, for your time.
Thank you for your time and thanks for your understanding.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so next on our agenda would be report of development services planning staff. A is Lisa Morigas from the Pond and Lake Connection reached out on 6/29/2020 to notify the commission that Crescent Lake, Crescent Beach Drive, Aqua 2019-338 revision will be treated on or around July 8th, 2020. And then she also reached out on 7/1/2020 to notify the commission that Pappas Pond, 1 Riverview Street, Aqua 2018-348 will be treated on or around 7/7/2020. So that's information for us that they're gonna be doing this.
Super.
Do you have any comments, Lauren or Savannah?
I don't.
Okay. Next would be new applications, which we have none. No agent approvals. So it looks like we're set for an adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
Beat you to it.
All in favor, aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Good night, all.
Good night.
All right.